This week on We Are Rhonda, we discuss auntie life, cussing parrots, and sensible eating. Last week, we helped Justin, who left us this warm message.
Oh my God!
Thanks, Justin. Bear with us this week as 2/3 of the Rhondas are sick and dying. Welcome to Episode 5, The Adventures of Poop Swing Boy.
Hello and welcome to We Are Rhonda, an advice and lifestyle show by Rhondas for Rhondas. Brought to you from the window seats at your local Target Starbucks, which we snagged sometime earlier today and don't give any indication of moving from. We're laughing at all of you trying to control your kids. You know, I'm pretty damn satisfied just being an auntie. How about you guys?
I love auntie life.
Oh, wait. I'm Aunt Rhonda.
I'm Aunt Rhonda as well.
I'm Aunt Rhonda.
And we're your Aunt Rhondas.
My niece got me very sick.
Oh, you're actually an aunt.
Yeah, I'm actually an aunt.
You're the only one.
Wow.
What happened? Did she cough in your mouth?
Yeah, so my niece just ripped my mouth open while I was sleeping and just took a giant sneeze into it.
Kids are gross. I don't even doubt that at all. I don't even think you're making that up. I think a child would actually do that.
They're like, where does this sneeze go?
Well, that's why I'm at Target. I need to get some Robitussin.
Oh my God, you've been in a bad state. You just look crusty.
Oh, thanks. I aspire to being crusty.
You're doing a bang-up job.
Thanks, aunts.
Michelle, what happened with you? How did you get sick?
I have just been sick for an entire week and going on 2 weeks at this point. Last week, I was on a work trip, and the morning I woke up for this trip, I had no voice. My throat was completely raw, and someone called me because I was late, and they were all waiting at the store to drive us to the airport, and I wasn't there because I slept completely through my alarms. And I answered my phone saying no words because I had no voice at all. And so they just thought that I had just answered and was silent. So I was just trying to make some sort of noise so that they knew I was there and didn't hang up and leave me. I was screaming because that's the only way I could get any noise out. And I was screaming at this poor woman who's calling me. And she's like, Michelle, where are you? Where are you? We're leaving for the airport. And I was like, oh God, I'm on my way. And she was like, what? And I was like, I'm so sorry about my voice. And so they waited for me. Everyone in the car was like, oh, you have just a bad morning voice. And I was like, I really don't think that's what it is. And it didn't get better for 2 days. And then finally I could speak again. But I was sick all week while I was gone. It was miserable.
That reminds me of the time we went on a cruise. And immediately Michelle drank some dysentery water in Mexico and was just out the entire cruise.
No, I was gone 2 days. I was just in bed, and there's a really good picture of me just with a wet towel over my eyes, and someone had put a banana in one hand, the bananas were laying on my stomach, and then I had a handful of pretzels and the other handful of ibuprofen, and I was just passed out.
Is this one of those weird pregnancy hacks to guarantee that you'll have a boy?
We went to a restaurant in Mexico and we got a bunch of cheese dip and stuff, and it ruined cheese dip for me for a month, which is my favorite food.
Is cheese dip a food?
Cheese dip is a food. It's basically the large portion of my food pyramid.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture that the top 2/3 of your food pyramid are just cheese dip.
Yeah, no, I think you mean the bottom portion of my pyramid is all cheese. Gummies are where my meats are, because there's gelatin in those, so that's protein. And then my fruits and veggies are...
Your fruits and veggies are just in a tiny little legend off of the pyramid.
Those aren't even in my pyramid. Those are just...
Just the dirt around the pyramid?
It's sprinkled. Bits and pieces get in when there's a gust of wind, but that's about it. Sometimes I will eat grapes with my cheese.
Just to help it go down.
Yeah, just to survive,
Eli, what's on your food pyramid?
So the foundation of my food pyramid, cheeseburger empanadas with plantain chips and guacamole with mild spice.
Did anyone do anything cool? Anything worth mentioning?
I separated my kneecap from my knee.
Oh, yeah. What the hell happened?
It was Friday night. I'm going to go out and go to a comedy show, and I'm like, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm like rushing because the show is at like 7:30. I look at my app and I realize that I only have like 2 minutes to get to the train before it leaves the platform. And so I run down the platform. At the end of the platform is an escalator. As I go up the escalator, I slip. My boot catches the back of the escalator because I have huge ass boat feet.
For boating.
For like parasailing, like skiddy across the water.
Oh, yes. Wait. You have to give this image. This is so funny.
My feet are so big that if I were to walk onto the water fast enough in Miami and, you know, just take like a blanket from my hotel, I would be able to hold that blanket in front of me and skid across the water with the momentum of the wind dragging me behind it and go all the way to whatever island I so desire.
You're kind of like Mary Poppins. But
I'm like Mary Poppins, but with hobbit feet.
you're Puerto Rican Mary Poppins. You're Maria.
Maria Martinez Poppins.
I have big, huge feet, too. I had a friend who used to call me Machete because it's a cross between Michelle and Yeti.
Oh, no. Wait, do you have hairy feet, too? I have, like,
They're not hairy. They're just enormous.
Oh, I literally have hair on my toes. It is so gross.
Oh, you're
I'm literally like, yeah, I know.
Little Frodo Baggins is what I'm going to call you.
Yeah, okay.
I used to have a coworker who she would walk around the office without her shoes on, and I would call her Bilbo Baggins. Not to her face, but to other people.
Barefoot?
Yeah, she would take her shoes off and walk around barefoot, and she had hairy feet, and I called her Bilbo Baggins.
Is that okay?
It was a small office.
Well, Bilbo
No one
Baggins,
cared.
this episode is dedicated to you.
Yeah, shout out to Bilbo. She doesn't know her name is Bilbo, but I mean, it was a small office. She knows who I'm talking about if she's listening to this.
So, like, to give you perspective, I wear, like, a size 13.5 Nike shoe. And so my foot doesn't fit, so I trip, and my heel falls from under me, and I fall down the escalator. My knee, on the way down, digs into the stair, like, the grooves of an escalator, and it digs into my knee and makes a hole. Not only do I sit through the comedy show, but I sit through like half of a dinner before I realize that it is profusely bleeding. And so I run to CVS and I get like bandage and shit, blah, blah, blah. Patch up that hole. Patch up that hole in my knee. And then I'm going to go to the doctor the next day. Boy, the next day, my knee hurt like a very, very, very bad injury. I went to the doctor and we got the x-ray the same day, and she was like, how did I put it, Michelle?
It was some legitimate medical terms. It was like your knee is profusely fucked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, your knee is sufficiently fucked, my dude. I get the x-ray thing back and it's like, oh, your knee's not broken, it's filled with pus. And so I'm like, great.
That might have been there before the accident.
Really, it would make sense because if you've seen my knees beforehand, oh, I had some elephant knees. But now my swollen knee makes a smooth transition from my upper thigh to my calf and my ankles. So it looks like I'm just walking around with a giant toothpaste bottle. A very full toothpaste bottle, mind you.
And if you squeeze it, stuff comes out like toothpaste.
I hurt my knee real bad, but I got more plants.
Yeah. Where are you going to live once you fill up this entire room with plants?
In the plants, in them.
Okay. I didn't do anything this week except laugh at Eli when we went to go do an escape room. He just did how much limping he had to do to get anywhere. Michelle, what did you do this week?
I went to Texas and I was sick all week at work. So I won't talk about that. But some other thing that is happening on Saturday, I have a date. The thing that we're doing is my friend from work, Justin, has been working on the music for this dance show. And so he's getting me free tickets to go to it. And so I told the guy I'm going on a date with that we're going to this show. But the funny thing is, I was talking to Justin about this, whether or not to get one ticket for just myself or to get 2 tickets, one for each of us, or just get one and make this guy pay for himself.
It's a power play.
Yeah, it's a power play. That's
you can
what I
get
told
2 tickets
Justin.
and then make him pay for the one that you have.
Then I just take the $14.
Yeah, then you pocket the
You pocket.
$14.
Yeah. Well, I ended up, he was going to call the box office today when they open. And so he came over to my desk and he's like, okay, 1 ticket or 2. And I was like, 1 ticket. And so he called and he just reserved the one ticket for me. And I'm going to make this guy pay for his own ticket.
I think you've paid for enough dates at this point.
Yeah, seriously, I deserve a freebie, and I just want this. I want this for me, and I want to know his reaction. I think that's a good way to learn about someone, is how they react in this situation.
I agree.
There's like a few situations I feel like you can really learn a lot about a person, and the main one that never fails is if a server or a kitchen staff gets someone's order wrong, how they react to that. And the other one is when an airline loses your luggage, how they react to that, because that is like the most aggravating thing ever. And I have lost my luggage so many times, but I've always just been like, you know, cool. I don't give a shit about anything. Like, that's just how I am. I've never cared about anything ever. And so I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, when you can get it to me, just call me. Thank you.
Okay.
Like, I always thank them too. And that's sometimes people are like, why did you just thank them? They didn't do anything. They fucked up your life. But like, it's just a reaction.
The way I see it is, if I have to be trapped in this airport, it has everything I would be going to the outside world to get.
It has Brookstone.
Yeah. And,
what else
and
do you
plus,
need?
Like, a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people will like throw a fussy fit. And I think there are situations that you need to put people in to actually get to know them. And I feel like this is one that I'm forcing this person into.
Does that mean you're going to steal their luggage eventually?
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe, who knows? Also, when someone walks through a spider web, you get to know them really well. It's always funny to watch someone realize there's a spider web on them, unless it's me. Then it's not funny at all, because it's happening to me, and I want to die in that moment. And I will die in that moment, and I did die a little bit in that moment.
What's the appropriate way to send back food?
I think it depends how much it costs.
Yeah, well, I just go back into the kitchen and make it myself.
No, you can't do that.
I just don't say anything, and
You just walk back there.
grab an apron.
Just pretend. My mom sent food back really well one time. It was pretty recently. Her and my dad were visiting me, and we went to Texas Roadhouse, and she was served steak that was completely raw. Like, it was legitimately raw. And I ate some of it because I love bloody steak as rare as possible. But she got it, and even I was like, Mom, I think you gotta send that steak back. It's like fucking... It's like breathing still. I can feel its heart beating. So the waitress came by and she's like, is everything okay over here? And my mom was like, I am so sorry. Like, this is how I do it too. We apologize because we don't like our raw food. Like, I'm so sorry to do this, but this is really too raw. And I don't know. I think that's good to apologize for their mistake. Apologizing and thanking them is always the right way. Because they have a shitty job, so like, don't make it hard for them. It's not the waitress's fault, you know?
I mean, when I was a server, like, my best tables usually were the tables where things legitimately went wrong. And once I spilled an entire beer on this man's lap, and the table went crazy. They were laughing at it so hard. And they tipped me twice for it. They thought it was just so entertaining for some reason.
Well, because it's entertaining. When you're all shitty together, you're shitty for spilling on them, and they're shitty for smelling like beer, and then their friends are shitty for laughing at them. When everyone is shitty together, it's a really great experience. Wow, we're all shitty. This is a really shitty dining experience. I'm loving this.
We need to go to the hospital. Let's go to the hospital.
I know. Let's all go to
Wait,
our respected hospitals.
Can we get like brief like montage music to like go to the ER?
Going to the hospital.
Sure. Hey, we're in the hospital now because we're all sick with something.
Wow, I hope I don't die here.
I'm not sick.
Yeah, wait, why are you here, Donald?
I just like to see what kinds of injuries people are doing these days.
Yeah, I like to go to the surgery theater.
Get some popcorn, get a vuvuzela.
So we are Rhonda in the surgery theater of the hospital that we're currently located in, waiting with the flu for our doctor to treat us.
And it's kind of a slow moving show.
Mm-hmm. Guys, should we though talk about our ants and how much
While we're waiting, go
they're
ahead.
wonderful?
Let's just make sure that we talk loud enough so that the doctors can hear us.
So this is a segment that may or may not be recurring, undetermined, but it's a segment that has to happen because we all love our ants a lot. And I think ants are probably the most important relative in my life.
They're the cornerstone of the family unit.
It's true.
Is an ant.
It is, yeah. Uncles are great too. Uncles always have a good joke for you and
Oh, yeah, my
teach
uncles
you
are cool.
cool things. Like Donald's dad is the only reason I know how to play any sort of poker. And
Yeah.
that was like a huge part of my childhood.
That's pretty rad.
But this is about ants.
Yeah.
The other side of the aunt and uncle ship. The anchor, really, is what the ants are.
And really, it is what we are as Rhondas.
It is. So I think it has to be acknowledged.
Michelle and my Aunt Linda is
Oh, God, Aunt Linda.
one of the funniest people, and I don't even know if she's doing it on purpose.
She's not. Okay, my favorite people in the world are the people who are so funny but have no idea that they're funny. And that is our Aunt Linda. She is hysterical.
Her catchphrase is, "Oh, my aching ass."
When I was younger, me and my mom, I was 4 years old, I swear. I was tiny. This was at the brink of my learning what humor was. Our Aunt Linda called camcorders cam recorders. And I was 4 and I was like, Mom, is that funny? Should I do I understand humor? I'm 4. With my eyes, I asked my mom that, and she was like, "Yes, sweetie, you should be laughing right now." There's nothing better than a good old-fashioned cam recorder.
I have a cam recorder on my phone.
I have a camera recorder in my bathroom.
It's my favorite word and my favorite gadget. It's such a pure thing. My other aunt, oh my God, you guys. My Aunt Vicky is my sister's mom. And Donald, you know my mom. She's insane.
She's a crazy lady with a heart of gold.
I hope that you get to meet my mom someday because she is the most amazing person on the face of this earth. My Aunt Vicky, she lives in Florida. So you know she crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
but,
so you-
but where?
She crazy. So she has been known to have multiple pets of various species. And we took a trip to Pensacola to go see her, and she had all sorts of animals. She had a parrot named Franklin who would say, "Franklin's a pretty bird."
Oh
He would
my
always say
gosh.
that.
I have a parrot named Max who just screams "fuck."
Oh God, I love parrots that curse. I Google that sometimes and I just watch videos for hours.
Backstory: me and my dad would play video games like Resident Evil all the time, and I would read him the official guidebook or whatever so we could get the collectibles.
Yeah.
The game was Resident Evil 4. That's a very hard game for anyone. Well, let's just say my dad had trouble playing video games with more than a stick and a wheel, right? He would just scream "fuck" all the time, and Max was always around. Imagine the exposure over 5 years of playing this game over and over and over and
Oh my
over again.
God.
And what it did to this poor bird. This bird does not speak. The only thing he says is "fuck."
I love that so much.
He's 11. He has some speech problems, I guess, because all he says is "fuck."
So my aunt, she also had tarantulas because bless her heart, every time she went to a pet store, she would see how they kept the tarantulas in these little containers.
Aw.
And she felt bad for them, so she would buy them.
I would always
No.
run past that aisle.
I hate spiders so much, but the fact that she got them because she felt bad for them, that's how I go shopping. If I see something abandoned, I feel like I need to buy it. One time I saw a jar of hot fudge in the crackers section and I felt bad for it, so I bought it, and then I had to go buy ice cream. It was a sympathy purchase, but that's what she did with her tarantulas, and so she had all these tarantulas in her home, which made me really uncomfortable. The funny part of all of this, which maybe I don't know if it's funny to her, but it's funny to me, being in Florida, she had a hurricane warning. Hurricane was on its way. They needed to evacuate for safety reasons. Rather than bringing her tarantulas and her parrot with her, she released them into the swamps of Florida where they could go on to thrive.
Those
So she
tarantulas
released these
were
tarantulas
eaten immediately.
No, I don't know what happened to them. But like the fact that pythons and shit are just thriving down there, I figured tarantulas probably have a pretty good shot. So she releases them. The hurricane never comes. So she's just released these critters into the wild because that's just how she is. She just wants to give everything a chance.
You know that's why the animal situation in Florida is so out of control, is because of false hurricane warnings.
I love the fact that those pythons are just taking over.
Oh, yes.
Happy Ant Day.
I adore ants, you guys. Like, I feel like there's nothing more that I love than ants. My Aunt Tina, who is Donald's mother.
She's my mom.
She is.
Hi, Mom.
She
gave me permission to use dirty words on the podcast.
I love her so much. Oh my God. Did she give me permission too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I said it's just kind of what podcasts are these days.
It's just like cursing is fun. It's like an expression. It's a way to express yourself. And I think this is all about being free.
Let it out.
Just let it out. Just let it out. You have to. Otherwise, you'll just explode and go crazy.
Just like diarrhea, which I am currently experiencing.
The things that I love about my Aunt Tina are... First of all, the fact that she gave Donald permission to cuss on this podcast. That is like the most amazing thing I've ever heard. I love that so much. And I hope that she gives me a pardon too. She makes the best snacks, you guys. I can't even express to you how good her salsa is. I dream about it.
It's so fresh and juicy.
I don't know how she does it. The last time she gave me like a bucket of salsa. A bucket, you guys. A whole bucket, because she takes care of us.
Yes.
She gave me a bucket of salsa. It lasted a while, but then I needed more, and I tried to make my own, and I couldn't do it. And I don't know what she does to this salsa, but she is amazing. And then the Oreo stuff.
She makes this Oreo fluff.
Oh, please.
It's an Oreo casserole is what I would call it.
God.
It is incredible.
Oh, Lord.
It is divine.
And she makes all these things because she knows that the kids being the like almost 30-year-olds.
Yeah, the 30, the 20, 30 somethings now.
We love it, and she makes it for us because she loves us. And I love her. She's so great.
Wait. We dedicated this episode to someone before, but we should change that. We should just dedicate it to Tina.
This is dedicated to Tina.
Yeah.
And all the aunts.
Eli, do you have an aunt?
I have.
Oh, you're very fond of?
I have multiple aunts. I have never called my aunts. They are titis. So it's Titi and Tio. Titi Maida is the youngest of the aunts, also the hippest. And if anyone were to hear this, I would start a feud. But Titi Maida has the best flan you will ever eat in your life. All of my other aunts make flan as well, and they compete. And
oh God,
I'm just saying that right now, Titi Maida has the best flan ever, and that's all I'm gonna say about that situation.
You can say that because it's just opinion.
Oh no, this is fact.
Oh God, you're starting shit.
The amount of detail and love crafting that goes into making each little piece of flan is incredible. Not only does like the caramel have this like decadent flavor to it, the slight crunchiness of the coconut inside of the flan just like brings the decadentness of this cake. It's not a cake, it's like a pudding cake. Like that's the only way I could describe flan.
I've
to like
never had
the
flan.
next
It sounds
level.
so good, though.
And she sent me the recipe, and I'm the only one who has the recipe besides her. So we're kind of in this
brain trust between you.
Yeah. She's like the Iron Chef, and I'm like, you know, in Iron Chef when they release all the ingredients and they lift that giant cover off of the table.
You are the ingredient.
I'm the ingredient, and I am covered in flan. And then there's like one little sticky note attached to my chest or my abdomen that has all the ingredients on it, and that was my aunt who presented me on that table. Yeah, I can make it for you guys.
Yeah, and could you please mail it to Michelle, because I'm sure that's something that can survive a 1,000-mile journey.
USPS.
Is it 1,000 miles from here to the mystery state that Michelle is currently located in?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am 1,000 miles away from you right now.
Wow.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, there was a song about that.
I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more just to be.
Oh yeah, that's 1,000 miles. Yeah,
walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
a lot of songs that I enjoy are like really boppy, sad tunes. Like I guess like Rock the Casbah is another big one.
I would walk 500 miles
And I would walk
Exactly. No, quite
so
exactly. You could do the same thing with Rock the Casbah. That's another really sad and disturbing song. Rock the Casbah.
Rock
the
Casbah. Can we talk about music and how I don't know the lyrics to any song? And instead of putting the actual lyric in, I always substitute Bada Cheetah Wada.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
a good lyric.
Yes.
Yeah, I do
So,
that
for
sometimes.
example, Bada Cheetah wanna kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, Bada Cheetah wanna. And going downtown, Bada Cheetah boo-wah. Bada Cheetah
really
wada boom, bada.
Are you feeling like you're up to answering some questions?
I would love to answer all of these questions.
Dear Rhondas, I want to post pictures of my vape mod on my favorite vaping forum, but my fingernails are very, very dirty from my job, so I'm self-conscious about holding it in front of the camera. I also don't want to just take a picture of it sitting on a table or something, because then it just looks like a picture of garbage. What can I do?
So your problem is that if you put the vape pen on a table, it looks like garbage, and if you hold it, you'll look like garbage.
It looks like
you'll
shit
look like
because your
garbage
dirty ass fingers.
because you'll look like garbage. Yeah. Well, you look like garbage, and you're making the pen look like garbage.
I actually have an answer, I think. I learned this trick from my friend Jake. Actually, we used to date, and so I learned this when we lived together. He was a plumber. He still is, I guess. But his fingers would get really extremely dirty, like under his nails would get all shitty and gross. And so when he would shampoo his hair, he would scratch his scalp really hard, and it would get all the dirt and grime out of his fingernails using his hair.
That's
So
not that
shower
bad.
before you do your photo session.
Use your hair as like an extra
It's like a brush.
loofah. It's like a loofah on your head, and you're not only cleaning your scalp while you do that because you're scratching so vigorously, but you're also cleaning out under your nails when you do that. And it worked for him all the time. I was like amazed. I started doing it, and my nails have been clean ever since.
Well, you also have fantastic nails, by the way. Because I have the privilege of talking to you guys directly, I'm going to ask a Help Me Rhonda question, and that is, how could I make my nails as gorgeous as yours, Michelle?
I guess eat like shit, like a shit diet. I don't know. That's really
Wait, are
it.
cheeseburger empanadas too healthy? Is that like...
Yeah, I think so. That's like too many food groups. Okay, here's my routine. How I eat is I go to work. I bring a full plastic baggie of gummy bears and gummy worms, like a trail mix is what I call it. But it's just gummies. I don't chew them. I suck on them.
So you suckle on these
All
bears.
day. I eat them all day long. And then at like 4 p.m., I start eating crackers. So like Cheez-Its. You've got your buffalo blue cheese combos. There's goldfish crackers. I have these kale spinach chips that are really good. Just crackers. And then I go home and I eat dinner. So that's it. That's how you get your nails to be beautiful. And I drink no water at all.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I don't water them. If you all follow my diet plan, you'll all die.
Oh, guys, we have to go back to Target. I forgot to get some gummy bears.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Traveling music. Okay, we're back at Target. Our seat is gone,
Damn
but
it.
there's one that's even better. That's
Nearer to the door. I like watching those suffering moms.
I'm going to go hang out in the dollar aisle just for like a good solid hour, I think.
Yeah. I always like to buy those little tiny pots of herbs from the
Yes,
dollar
oh my
section
God,
at Target.
yes.
And then I plant them in weird locations, like in my car. So I'll have like an herb garden in my car.
Did you say that you were good at growing plants, or did you say you always kill your plants?
I always kill them.
Yeah, might be why.
I'm an unconventional farmer.
Eli, what the hell do you do when you need rosemary and you're at an intersection?
You got me there.
Can we go back to the question for a little bit? So one of the strategies is to make your fingernails nicer, but let's suppose that there's just too much grime to deal with.
Okay.
What
So you
are
need to
some...
spruce up the photography booth.
Yeah. decorate the table. Maybe put some roses around the vaporizer and like a tasteful doily or something.
Oh, I
beneath
live
it.
for a good doily.
Just a simple doily is all you need.
Put your vape on a doily. You don't need hands, but your doily would make that vape look extravagant.
Also, your hand has two sides to it. So instead of showing the back of your hand, which is where the grime will show up the most, why not just put your hands out, your palms pointed out, know
Like,
that it's
surprise!
Yeah. Or like presenting kind of like Vanna White. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
a
vape.
Vanna presentation is good.
Yeah.
I was thinking something along the lines of setting your vape up right and then having like a fine glass of wine, maybe like a block of cheese on a nice
Lord.
wooden board, and then a knife in it.
A charcuterie arrangement.
Raw meats delicately folded on the table as if they're ribbons of gold.
And just the slightest amount of smoke.
Oh,
drifting
yeah. Oh,
through
yeah.
The charcuterie.
If you're posting your vape mod on a website, you're only doing it to show off. So you
Right.
need to do it in a classy way that says, wow, this vape user is a classy sophisticate. I don't want to mess with this mod.
It's a life mod. If failing all else, or maybe even in addition to this, pick up some sexy gloves. Silk gloves for yourself from the glove counter at Macy's.
If you get some like nice white half sleeve gloves that go like halfway down your forearm that like delicately envelop the fingers in like it's like soft white silky material, then like when you're grasping that vape, you're only enveloping it in even more decadence than like where
And
your mod
depravity.
already took that decadence and depravity.
So I think we answered it.
We also want to see your photo.
Yeah, please share.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please share.
Another question. This question is from Rodney.
Hey, Rodney.
Rodney says, I have a golden doodle, male, 4 years old, still has his manhood. When I let him out in the backyard, I have a 4-foot chain link fence. He jumps it and chases tail all over the town. What can I do to keep him in the backyard? You know what the responsible answer is? Is get your dog neutered.
Is that the responsible answer? Is that an issue with boy dogs, like that they're rowdy if they don't have their genitals removed?
They have one
Yeah.
job. Well, they have two jobs: to be the best
boy.
and then to
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no.
So
Wait,
yeah, that
but-
is a problem. I mean, unless you're using your dog to be like a breeder dog,
Which I don't support.
which we have too
Yeah,
many
we
of.
have too many dogs. Don't do that.
Get your dog fixed. What's the benefit of your dog escaping and impregnating the town dogs? You can get sued for that.
Yeah, and also your dog's life is over after that. Like they were going to have to get a job.
Child support is insane.
Err on the
Seriously.
side of caution. I would recommend also, fixing your dog, because the only other option really, aside from getting a taller fence,
Is to give this dog a
possibility.
pack of condoms.
Yeah.
No, it's to dig a moat.
Is this question asker in Florida?
Florida is a moat.
I was going to say you have to tantalize his attention with things which will override the desire to hop out and get around.
Yeah, just get another dog. Get a cat. He just wants to share his golden doodle with the town.
I think you need to have a talk with your dog. He's reaching that age where he has to begin thinking about his public image. Because if he's ever going to run for doggy president, you can't just be a tomcat.
That was a good
Tom
callback.
dog. I don't know.
We have another dog question. Dear Rhondas, when I walk my dog, after I pick up the poop in a shopping bag, I like to kind of swing it around. I'm not sure why, but it's just fun to swing things around, you understand?
We do.
Anyway, it's come to my attention that I've become known as the poop swing boy in my cul-de-sac, which is embarrassing. What casual activity can I do while walking my dog to earn a better reputation? I guess the answer here is vaping. Yeah. Would you rather be known as poop bag boy or vape boy?
I just say complete the outfit. Like, why change your brand when it's already been established? It's going to be an uphill battle. Just complete the outfit, wear a tux and a top hat, and
I
then
feel like
you got a
there's
reason to
nothing.
swing.
I feel like poop swing boy is not even it's not an insult, because there's nothing more endearing than just seeing someone out there walking their dog just with that glistening sack of poop around their wrist. Embrace it. You did the right thing by picking it up. A lot of people don't even do that. Embrace the fact that you are a responsible dog owner and you picked up your dog's shit and you're carrying it around now.
Your neighbors are obviously way too into your business. And if you know that they're watching you and you're feeling self-conscious about it, here's what you do. One day, at the normal walking time, leave your dog at home. Sneak out during one of their naps, but bring the poop bag and just do a sad walk along the cul-de-sac with the empty poop bag that doesn't swing as well. And
then go pick up someone else's dog's shit to fill your poop bag void. I have another good idea.
yeah.
Here's what you do. You collect poop swing bags. So one day you have one poop bag. The next day you have 2 poop bags. The next day you have 3 poop bags. And then your neighbors are like, what the fuck is going on here? So once you have 4 poop swing bags, you start tying them together, okay? In both of your hands, you have a poop bag tied to another poop bag, okay? Listen, I'm not done. So then you just keep collecting, and now there's 3 in both of your hands. Now there's 4, and they're just getting longer and longer strands, okay? Now you have 6 in each hand. Now you have 7. It's just getting a longer strand of tied together poop sacks. At the end of the week, you have a rope. They're tied together at the end. They come together in the middle. You have a rope of poop swing bags. Here's what you do now. You start jump roping. And now you're jump roping with your poop swing bags. And who's the crazy person now? The person who called you poop swing boy. Guess what? Now you're really poop swing boy, and you're embracing it, and you're the best at what you do.
You really doubled down on poop swing.
The poop bag slapping the ground as you jump rope through.
Can you imagine the asphalt like scraping the plastic bags open and like shit just flying?
And then your shit is just flying everywhere. Your dog poop is just flying. You know where it's going though? In your neighbor's eyes, because they won't stop staring at you.
Yes.
Them and the police officers cannot stop staring.
In their face, literally. Do that, and then you'll never have a problem ever in your life again. You'll never be afraid to do anything ever again, I think.
Well, that about does it for us today on this episode of We Are Rhonda. Thank you so much for listening. And Michelle, tell them where to find us.
Please find us on Facebook.com/We Are Rhonda podcast, or just search We Are Rhonda, and you'll see our beautiful little logo made by Eli.
Smeared all over the internet. And thank you.
Yeah,
that
we're
beautiful
everywhere.
artwork.
We are also on Twitter @We Are Rhonda. And please remember, if you have any questions that need our advice, to email them to wearerhonda@gmail.com.
wearerhonda@gmail.com. Hope you all had a beautiful... never mind.
Life.
That happened like 2...
Rest in hell.
Rest in hell, sweet bitches.
See you next Thursday. Okay, bye.